Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. So, we're going to ask, well, first I'm going to share some of my downloads. I do want to say that this channel is about helping basically twin flames to integrate the divine masculine and the divine feminine. As you know, as you probably figured out, the divine masculine and divine feminine are kind of irreconcilable. They don't work with each other, they work against each other normally. And so the work of alchemy is to get your own divine masculine and your own divine feminine reconciled by awakening. So we're all awakening right now, and that is to again reconcile our divine masculine, divine feminine to get to work together. Because it's so funny because I started calibrating with the chart here, and you could do this too if you wanted to do this. Whenever I want to make a decision, I'll calibrate it. So it's with the Hawkins scale right here. So I kind of use this to calibrate everything. And when I use this scale, I'll calibrate where I'm at with my divine masculine, divine feminine. So I decided to do that for my viewers just to see where you're at this time. It changes as the more work you do and the more inner child work you do, and the more you release trapped emotions, and and that type of thing. So my viewers, you are at about 28% in your divine feminine. That's where you're calibrating out of 100, and at about 45% in your divine masculine. And then I also have you calibrating at 273. So if you look at so 273 is just above neutrality, is where I'm just doing it for the collective. So if it's not yours, then you know better where you're calibrating at. But that's what I'm getting for the collective, calibrating at about 273, which is just above neutrality and just under willingness. I'm going to keep doing readings to kind of help everyone get up here. Of course, I don't know. I'm getting the union is 1500, ascension is 1000, unity is 900, integration is 800. So integration alone is something we're going to start doing here on this channel, is integrating our shadows. That is going to help us become more whole. If you're interested in that, then come with me and take this journey with me. And so I do have my little bag of shadows that I will be pulling from. Okay, now, yeah, so I've been figuring out, because I'm a very strategic person, I've been figuring out exactly how to, get back up here into ultimate consciousness. Okay, so I've been trying to figure out how to get into love vibration. So I am now a little bit above the love vibration at this point. Not an easy feat, but I finally got there. And now I'm trying to figure out how to get to joy. And so I will share that information with everyone too, if you're interested. And if you're interested in working with me, then let me know. Okay, another way to become more balance in your divine masculine, divine feminine, I'm being told, is to work with the moon, which is your divine feminine, and work with the sun, which is your divine masculine. So I decided to look and say, okay, so let's see what's going on this week when it comes to the moon and the sun. And it looks like this week, and of course, if you click on my channel, it's the right time for you. It doesn't have to be this exact week, because I will be doing a reading. But this particular day, week, I should say, we're in a waning crescent phase. And so this is about letting go. This is about, releasing, anything that is just not serving you anymore. Okay. And it just so happens to be in Capricorn. So, Capricorn, well, that's about rigid structures. So, releasing any rigid structures, excessive expectations, or burdens that might be holding you back. What else? Capricorns are about grounded energy, okay, and practicality, okay. And so it encourages you to, yeah, really look at whatever might be holding you back, having a deeper assessment when it comes to your rigid structures and your excessive expectations, and to relinquish control, trust the nature flow of life. I know that's hard. Allowing for necessary adjustments and surrender to the cycle. Okay. So what could happen if you're in your shadows during this time? So again, we're in the waning crescent moon of Capricorn at this time. If not managed well, you could find yourself in excessive self-criticism, overworking, or difficulty letting go of past achievements. Okay. Now, the next thing, I would say sometime in the middle of the week, the moon then moves into Aquarius. Okay, and so having the moon in Aquarius encourage you to embrace your individuality, unique perspective, not feeling pressured to fit in. Okay, and so so this is about a time to have more independent thinking. Okay, and then at the end of the week of this week, actually the moon goes into Pisces, which is interesting because the sun is also in Pisces, as you know. So with the moon going into Pisces, you will you might feel more of a heightened period of wanting to be in introspection, wanting to go deep into your spiritual connection because you're in Pisces now, releasing illusions, tapping into your inner wisdom, embracing your compassion and forgiveness, and that type of thing. So you may feel that at the end of the week. So that's kind of a weekly update for embracing the moon and what's going on. Again, with the crescent waning moon, it's all about kind of letting go, a time of introspection and surrendering, maybe rest, renewal, releasing old patterns, that type of thing. Now, being in the sun in Pisces, which is obviously, for 30 days, what you might have a tendency to do is escape as a coping mechanism when it comes to stress. So just be careful with that. You may struggle with saying no, that type of thing, being overly sensitive. Otherwise, Pisces again is about having a meaningful connection with spirit, being adaptable, fluid, spiritual, mystical, compassionate, creative, imaginative, intuitive, and psychic. Okay. So if you think about it, so the sun is in your Pisces, and so sun is the divine masculine, and so that's all about taking action. So what does that mean then? So you might want to take action this week when it comes to getting in touch with your intuition, your psychic gifts, your compassion for yourself. All that could be on your divine masculine side because you're taking action on that. All right, and then the divine feminine on the moon side, that's more inner work. So that's what I'm saying. So trying to balance the divine masculine, divine feminine in that way could be helpful. I don't know. But I am just trying to teach everyone how to thrive on this twin flame journey, and that's one of the ways. And a lot of people on this twin flame journey have had trauma. And I don't know if you knew this, but trauma is trauma, ma, meaning the mother. So it's a Greek word meaning wound. So it's the mother wound. Okay, so the wound festers, and so a lot of people on this journey have a deep mother wound. We're going through some trauma here, and it's probably passed down as well from our mothers. Okay, but let me go over my downloads, and then I'll start pulling cards to correspond with what I got. Excuse me. So what they showed me was they showed me a person having balloons, and they were enjoying their balloons. They had their balloons and they were enjoying them, and I thought these are nice balloons and they're colorful, and I have a bouquet of them. But then all of a sudden they started getting popped. So life started popping your balloons one by one. which was making the person in my download very sad because they worked hard to blow up these balloons. They were enjoying these balloons, and now all of a sudden, life was popping these balloons one by one, and you were having to say goodbye to each balloon. And you were getting really upset because now all of a sudden you had a bouquet of popped balloons. But then I was being shown someone handing you a different set of balloons, and it was much bigger, they were much brighter, they were much glossier, they were different colors, they had like a shimmer to it, and it was balloons that you weren't expecting. Okay, so I do believe that spirit is just trying to tell us that yes, obviously you had to get rid of many things in your life, things had to end, but now you have room for a new beginning, and so that is the new bouquet of balloons that are being given to you. Also, I was shown that these balloons will lift you higher and higher into a newer vibration, which I thought was almost like what I was talking about with calibration, how I was talking about where we calibrate. When we start to vibrate higher, things don't calibrate. So, like I said, you could calibrate anything. You could calibrate what, if something's a match for you, I could even help you calibrate if your twin flame is a match for you. I could tell you, or you could figure it out how to calibrate. You could do it through muscle testing, calibrate where your twin flame is calibrating and where you're calibrating, and see if you're even a match. But anyway, what I was showing with the balloons is that these balloons were no longer calibrating at your vibration anymore. And so you needed a different set of balloons to match where you're at. So that's what I was being shown. So I thought that was interesting. And then they showed me a number 9 and then a number 6 and then a 9 again and then a number 6. They kept showing me 9 6 9 6 9 6. And so the 9 means end of a cycle, and the 6 has something to do with home. So what I was getting was is that there looks like there's an end of a cycle when it comes to home. There could be a change of home in some way, or just a switcheroo or an update when it comes to home life, something that has to do with home, and 9 is the end of a cycle. The next thing I was shown was a train for travel, and I thought that was interesting. So it looks like many of you will be planning on traveling. Okay, and so, but it would look like a smooth ride. So traveling looked smooth. So that was nice. The next thing I saw was a cop stopping traffic to let people go across the street. And I asked my guides why I was being shown this, and the guide said, "Well, usually you've been, right, us, the twin flames, have been the ones being stopped by the cop, right? Like blocked, almost like stop other people, it's their turn, don't go, stop, let these people go." Well, anyway, these drivers are getting really impatient because the people just kept going and going. There was lots and lots of kids and people that were crossing the road, and the cop would not let the drivers go. And so what my guide said is like, well, now you're the walkers, you're the pedestrians, you're no longer in the car, you're now being let through, and now there's no barricade, so you can now cross the street. You're no longer being blocked. So I thought that was interesting. Then the next thing I was being shown was a wheelbarrow and somebody planting seeds in a garden, which I find interesting because later on I was walking my dog, and I actually saw somebody with a wheelbarrow at the corner of my street planting seeds. But anyway, so in this download, somebody was feeling really confident. They were planting their seeds. They were super excited about it. They understood that it will grow. There was no expectations about when it will grow. All they know is that they planted it, and then in my download, it actually grew really fast. It actually grew like right in front of their eyes. And so I thought that was interesting. So whatever it is you're like seeds you're planting, it's going to grow faster. Because it used to be where, yeah, you'd plant the seeds and then it would take a while, and and then you'd wait, and it might take a year to see something. And so what I was being shown is that when you plant seeds, it's going to grow faster due to all the hard work that you've been doing. And then I showed an animal Muppet going up. I don't know if you remember the Muppet Show, but Animal was a character, a bit crazy. And so what I was being shown was that it's okay to show your emotions. It's okay to let it out. It's okay to beat on that pillow or slam that pillow on the floor. It's okay to allow yourself to go a little crazy and just let it out. You don't have to stifle yourself. Accept that part of you is what I'm hearing. Accept that part of you that wants to just let it out. Okay, and then the last download I got was Mary Tyler Moore. She was, I don't know if you remember that show. I don't know, I'm dating myself. But Mary Tyler Moore had this introduction where she would walk through her town and then she would throw her hat up in the air. And there was this one lady that would look at her in a very peculiar way, like, "What are you doing, lady?" And so they're just reminding us to laugh and again be crazy, because that's kind of a crazy thing. Imagine yourself going in the middle of town with the middle of strangers and just throwing your hat up in the air, and wherever it lands it could hit someone. It could hit a car, like who knows what where that hat's going to land. But they're saying that they're saying, just throw up your hat and let it, let your hair down and just laugh, allow yourself to laugh. And so anyway, so that was the end of those the messages that I got. Okay, so now let's go ahead in the reading part and let's see what we get. Okay, Spirit, what would you like my viewers to know? What would you like anything to do with what the downloads were, or anything new? Two cards. What would you like the viewer to know, please? Yeah. So we got the Knight of Wands reversed along with the Eight of Cups reversed. And so this means a delay, and this means escapism. And so what they're telling me is that there's been so much delay of things in your life where you're just like, where is it? Like, I've been working really hard for this. Where the heck is the gift here? And so what they're saying is like, what they're actually telling me right now is, don't walk away now. You're almost there. Don't walk away. Don't walk away from your divine feminine now. Don't walk away. Now, yeah, it's because of these delays, you're thinking it's never going to happen, but they're saying don't walk away just before it's about to happen. Here, let me grab two more cards. Could I have two more cards on this, Spirit? What are you trying to say here? Two more cards, please. Yeah, because definitely there's having no faith, worrying. Yep. So this makes sense, and that makes sense why there's a calibration here. Now, again, okay. So calibrating at 273. I think I said 273. We said was above neutrality and just below willingness. So if you turn this upside down, you could get to willingness on the vibrational scale. Now, at the same time, I know this sounds weird, but accepting this part of you that doubts, right? Because that will never go away, right? We're always going to doubt. But we just want to have a little bit higher of a percentage where we don't doubt, so that we can move up in vibration, right? Just like the balloons. So, very understandable. Have compassion for yourself, understanding that you've been through so much. And I am so sorry, because it does look like there's been some suffering here, and I'm so sorry, you guys, for what you've been going through. And you're just like at this point over it, just worried, anxious, and just not even having faith in this anymore. So I could definitely see that in the cards. So I'm really sorry about that. So having compassion for yourself, that is what they're telling me is going to fast track, right? That's going to fast track you up the vibrational scale, is having compassion for yourself. All right, two more cards, please, for the collective. Two more cards. Okay, and then I'm going to get some advice because they're still telling me, yep, so feeling stuck, no movement. I mean, that's basically two cards of no movement, feeling stuck, can't even make a decision. Just like, what do I even do? I don't know what to do. I'm not even given any good choices at this point. Where am I supposed to go? Right? Oh yeah. I relate. I totally relate. Okay, so we need guidance here, Spirit. At this point we need some so we got the picture here. We understand what everyone's going through. Two cards. What's the guidance, please? What's the guidance? Two cards. And then I'll use other decks as well for guidance. I'm going to do my Akashic Records deck too. What's the guidance? Well, we got Ace of Wands, and we have the Emperor reverse. So this is give up control. So giving up the control and allowing inspiration to come through. So the Wands is all about that fire. Now, mind you, the only way to let the fire in, the way I understand it, now I'm only a perspective, right? I can't speak for all perspectives, but my perspective is that you really need to be in your divine masculine. So there does need to be some sort of movement. So you do need to turn this around, okay? And you need to be able to make a decision here. But we're going to get more clarity on what to do. Again, I gave you a hint though, and I can help you with this if you want to work with me. Calibrate it. If you have a hard time making a decision, calibrate the decision. This is what's going to tell you. Obviously, the better the decision, the higher it's going to calibrate. The not so good decisions are going to calibrate low. But also, mind you, if you do make a so-called wrong decision and you feel like you've got that trickster energy, which I totally relate, if you feel like you have, just know that it's a fast track. When you go down deep into these emotions, it's going to fast track you to help you learn and get you up here faster. It's actually a fast track because when you're up here, you don't move quite as fast, except when you do a deep dive. So when something bad happens and you go into a deep dive, that helps you learn something new and it helps you go move up the scale. So it's kind of a fast track, and part of it is having compassion for yourself. So yeah, so having that inspiration, getting that fire back, and giving up control. So but let's get more. Yeah, let me put this over here and see if it fits. Yeah, so let's get some more. Let's get the Akashic Records. Can we have some guidance here, Spirit? I'll get two cards from the Akashic for the collective, please. But yeah, I'm so sorry. That is definitely hard, very hard to go through. Okay, two cards, please. Two cards for the collective. I feel like I need to just shuffle one more time. Two cards for the collective, please. There we go, perfect. Guidance, please. Okay, well then of course what do we get? We get have faith. Of course we do. It says, it's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Yet still you must do exactly that, because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. Yeah, so, giving up that control is so hard, but unfortunately, that's a part of the process. And again, it may or may not help you to calibrate your decisions, but just taking those baby steps, because I know how it feels to be stuck, because I didn't know what to do either, and I didn't know which way to turn, and I really felt like I made some really bad decisions, or I was led in very bad I felt I was led in very bad directions, actually, just very recently in the last few months, almost like that trickster energy. But come to find that what it did was it did fast track me to a higher vibration. So, And then when you become in a higher vibration, you actually start to magnetize. So instead of working hard for something, you start to magnetize good things in your life. And so that did happen. I magnetized two surprises I wasn't expecting. One of them was actually a new job, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't even apply for it. And the second thing was a seminar, like a $2,000 seminar. I won it, and so just stuff like that will happen. When you calibrate higher, you start to magnetize. You don't have to work hard for stuff. Okay, and then the second card is break free with the beautiful butterfly. And this says you're being asked to break free from the tribe in order to live your authentic life. This isn't easy, but but it's very necessary if you're going to share your true self with others. Be brave, be real, be you, and trust that those who love you will always be there for you. Yeah, and so we're gonna do a little bit of that, the real you. So like I said, you can't like not accept, like you have to accept. You don't have to, it's just a suggestion, but this is what shadow work is, right? Accepting this part of you that has extreme anxiety. Again, this is another way that I fast tracked accepting this part of me. So this is the integration part, right? You're integrating all parts of you when you integrate your own shadows, that part that doubts, integrating, I mean, and really understanding why. I mean, this is probably has to do with your own inner child, your ancestral wounds, your past life wounds. You have to understand what you've been through. So yeah, so breaking free and being your true self instead of, wearing that mask to fit in is what that is saying. Okay, so let me put this over here. Yeah, and we are going to do a little bit of shadow work just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. All right, let me pull a couple of cards from here. Let me see, do you have any guidance on these cards? I just love these cards. They're so cute. So do you have any guidance? Two cards, please. Two cards. Oh, I got the booklet here. For the collective, two cards, please. Two cards. One more little shuffle. There we go. That's better. All right. It says rest is not something I need to earn. See? I love that. You don't need to earn it. I have to say I definitely relate to this because I'm that person that thinks I need to earn rest. But you don't need to earn it. And then it says, today I will find the sweetness in the little things. Of course, this will bring you joy, right? Just finding the sweetness in the little things. What I'm being told, it's more of an honoring. It's when you honor. It's like when you honor the flower, when you honor your creations, when you honor yourself, like when you revere yourself, like that's gonna make a difference. Actually, I might put this over here with the other one, and I'll put her here. So cute. Okay. And then what I was going to do was I was going to see, and I was gonna kind of explain about the bodies. So we all have four bodies. We have the spirit body, so we have the physical, earthly, masculine body. Then we have the emotional body, which is the earthly, feminine, divine feminine body. Then we have the mental body, which is the spiritual, divine masculine body. And then we have the higher self, the spiritual, divine feminine. So I'm sorry, so mental body and spirit body. But anyway, I was going to find out for everyone what your bodies value, like what does each body value, or we could just say what is your divine masculine, divine feminine. We'll just do that. First we'll say, so we'll just do it like that instead of doing all four, maybe because this video is getting a little long, but we'll just say what does your divine masculine value right now, and what is your divine feminine value right now. So what is your divine masculine value at this time? So one card for the collective, please. This is for the divine masculine. Divine masculine. What is divine masculine value at this time? We have responsibility to be reliable and dependable and to hold yourself and others accountable for decisions and choices. So this is what your divine masculine values right now. So that's going to kick you up higher in the calibration with responsibility. Whoops, taking responsibility and being dependable. Okay, let's ask your divine feminine. So beautiful with the beautiful divine feminine. What do you value for the collective? For the collective, what does the divine feminine value most at this time, please? For the collective, please. What does the divine feminine value? Interesting. Hold on one second. Divine feminine. Sorry, a card that didn't belong in the deck came out. A card that's not part of the deck. Oh, a card that is part of the deck, but it's not part of the values. It's just kind of like a direction type card. Okay. One more shuffle. What is the divine feminine value, please? Creativity, to use imagination, to transcend ordinary thinking and generate new ideas. Yep, so that's what the divine feminine is right now, mostly valuing creativity. So that's going to help you calibrate higher in your divine feminine, and the other and the responsibility is going to help you calibrate higher in the divine masculine. I did pull this deck, so I wanted to see if something would come out of here. Is anything else you want us to know? I'll just pull one card out of this one, since we did a little bit of astrology here today. And we got Venus, beauty, artistry, and love. Yeah, so that kind of goes with the divine feminine. The Venus is about love, love of self, and creativity, right? Artistry. And of course we got beauty, enjoying the beauty around you. So that kind of goes. Okay. So now I'm just going to pick one, maybe two, but I think just because of the time, we're just going to pick one shadow and see what we get. So I'm just going to give you an idea of what it means to be whole, and what it means to integrate, and what it means to be accepting of your own shadows. So we'll just pull a shadow, and we have secondary. So someone who feels secondary may feel left out. They may feel like not wanted. They may feel like, they're just not first in someone's life, right? And I'm sure we felt this way as kids, especially with me. I was the firstborn, so once my sister was born, I absolutely 100% felt secondary because my mom told me that I did, because of the way all things went down. So anyway, so we need to accept this part of us that feels left out. So this this would remind me of the Five of Pentacles card, where we might feel left out in the cold, felt like, you like so and so better. Maybe you were in a friendship where, with two best friends, and they left you hanging, or they just decided, they liked each other better, so feeling secondary. And so this would be a good opportunity to feel into this part of you and say, you know what, I have mercy on this part of me that feels secondary or left out in the cold, and really feel into that. Really feel into, I express deep, deep gratitude for this part of me, and she deserved, or he deserved better, right? We deserved better. We deserve to be first. We deserve to be primary. We did not deserve to be left out in the cold. And I do understand why this is showing up for me, and it makes sense that I would feel left out in the cold. I had a tough life. People did leave me out in the cold, and I have mercy on that part of me, and I cherish that part of me, and I adore that part of me, and I love that part of me, and I deserve love, and I'm my best friend, and I love myself, and I befriend myself, and I send myself compassion. I have so much compassion for me and all that I've been through. I didn't deserve it. I did not deserve to be treated that way. I deserve love. I fill my own cup of love. And and so what you're doing is you're accepting the shadow. You're not running away from it. You're not saying, "Oh my God, no, that's not me. I've never been left out in the cold." And no, and that's silly, and I can't believe that I would think that way. And of course they did. I mean, doesn't that make sense? Let's rationalize this. I mean, mom had a baby. She had to spend more time with the baby. No, that's not accepting your shadow. That's the opposite of what of being whole. You have to accept this part of you that feels, like an escapist. Love that part of you that's an escapist. We're all in some way or form an escapist. We all escape. We all want to run away. We all do it. And we need to accept that part of ourselves. Of course we run away. Of course we escape. Life is hard. Of course we worry. We have every right to worry. We have every right to be anxious. Life has been difficult. Life has beaten us down. It's okay to accept ourselves that don't feel like things are like we have faith, like things are like that, like the star could be like renewal and healed and yay, and and we're like, no, I don't believe it anymore. I don't see that. I don't feel renewed. I don't feel healed, and screw that. It's not happening. I don't think it's going to happen. Stop telling me something's going to happen when it's not going to happen. And you know what? Love and accept that part of you. Have mercy for that part of you. Cherish that part of you. Adore that part of you. Love that part of you. That part of you deserves so much love, because most likely that part of you is your inner child, is your ancestral wounds, probably all the way down 12, 13, you know, um, 12, 13, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Going all the way down the line of either your mom's or your dad's side of the family, there's probably a lot of lack of faith because of what has happened. Oh, thank you. Generations. This is generational. That's been passed down to you. Generational pain. It makes sense that you would feel stuck and that you wouldn't want to make a decision. And then you're like, screw this. I'm not making a decision. I just keep getting this trickster energy. All right, have mercy for that part of you. She deserves to feel this way. Absolutely. Cherish this part of you. Love this part of you, because she's been through so much. She's been through so much torture and pain. I mean, yeah, or he, has been through so much. Turned upside down, doesn't know which way to go, directionless, scattered. Of course we're scattered. Look what life has done. Life has turned us upside down, and life is doing it on purpose to get us to accept our own shadows. Feeling out of control, feeling like, where's the control? I've lost it. Lack of control. Again, have mercy on that part of yourself. So don't shame these parts of you. Don't be like, oh yeah, no, I shouldn't feel that way. I know better. I've done the work. Yeah, you've done the work. Yeah, you know better. You know better what? You know better to what? To heal. Otherwise, all parts of you deserve compassion. Okay? And when you start doing more of that, it's going to really help you. But anyway, I know this is a long video. It's almost 40 minutes. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. I am here to help everyone to thrive on the twin flame journey. If you'd like to work with me, you could reach out to me at marybethtwinflame@yahoo.com. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you, everyone. Bye.